Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we celebrate the unbreakable spirit of humanity in the vast cosmos, HFY style. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and smash the like if you're ready for a tale that'll tug at your heartstrings and remind you why humans are the ultimate survivors. Today, we've got a gripping sci-fi story set on the divided world of Ara 9, where one man's quiet compassion ignites a revolution of the soul. Let's dive right in. Picture this. Ara 9, a sprawling mega-city planet orbiting a dim red star, its surface a labyrinth of towering spires and shadowed underbelly. Up top, in the gleaming enclaves, the elite aliens live in opulent harmony, their lives governed by ancient rituals and unbreakable hierarchies. Down below, in the damp, fog-shrouded lower districts, it's a different story. Gritty, forgotten, where the air hums with the drip of leaky hydroponics and the distant rumble of maintenance drones. This is where humans like Elvis Voss carve out their existence, far from the wars that once defined them. Elvis was no stranger to hardship. Back in his days as a scout medic in the Terran Frontier Wars, he'd patched up soldiers under fire, improvised, splints from scrap metal, and stared death in the face more times than he could count. But those glory days were behind him. Now, in his mid-40s, with a salt-and-pepper beard and eyes that had seen too much, he worked as a botanical surveyor. His job, monitoring the vast hydroponic farms that fed the lower levels, endless. Rows of glowing tanks bubbling with nutrient-rich water, growing everything from hardy tubers to exotic fungi. It was solitary work, the kind that suited a man who'd learned to find peace in isolation. His modest habitat was tucked away in a converted maintenance pod, equipped with basic medkits, a battered old synthesizer for meals, and a view of the endless pipes snaking through the undercity. One routine night, as Elvis ran his scans under, the flicker of bioluminescent lights, a sound pierced the usual hum, a desperate echoing cry from the darkness. It came from an abandoned well shaft nearby, a relic from the planet's early mining days, now just a pit of sludge and forgotten waste. Most folks down here would ignore it. Survival meant minding your own business. But Elvis? Humans like him don't turn away from suffering. That innate drive, that stubborn empathy forged in the fires of Earth's history, kicked in. He grabbed his toolkit, a makeshift harness from old cargo straps, a flashlight rig he'd jury-rigged from spare parts, and peered into the abyss. Down there, in the muck, was Arian, a green-skinned woman from the upper enclaves, her lithe form caked in grime, her elegant features twisted in pain. She belonged to the Arani, a species known for their rigid society, where bonding rituals determined status. Arian had refused a forced union, one that would have chained her to a life of subjugation. For that defiance, she'd been branded impure and cast into the well to die, a slow, agonizing end in the filth. Her cries were weak now, her body battered from the fall, ribs cracked, skin torn by jagged debris. Elvis didn't hesitate. Risking the unstable shaft walls that could collapse at any moment, he lowered himself down, inch by inch, his muscles straining against the improvised rope. The stench was overwhelming, decaying organics mixed with chemical runoff, but he pushed through, his medic training taking over. "Hold on," he called out in the common tongue, his voice steady like a beacon. "I'm getting you out." Ariane, delirious from pain and dehydration, could barely respond, her golden eyes wide with fear and disbelief. No one from her world would dare help an outcast. Compassion was a weakness, purged from their culture. With sheer human grit, Elvis hauled her up using a pulley system he'd fashioned from his survey gear. It was ingenuity at its finest, turning everyday tools into lifesavers. Back in his habitat, he laid her on his cot, cleaning her wounds with antiseptic foam from his kit. He synthesized a nutrient broth, something simple and warm, and offered Her clean clothes from his spares, oversized on her slender frame, but better than rags. "No strings attached," he said softly, his rough hands gentle as he bandaged her. "You rest. You're safe here." Ariane woke to the unfamiliar hum of the lower levels, her body aching but alive. At first, terror gripped her. In the enclaves, help always came with a price: exploitation, control. She flinched when Elvis approached, expecting demands, but he just set down a meal and backed away. "Eat when you're ready," he murmured. "I'm Elvis, human. We don't leave folks to die." Days blurred as she healed, her distrust cracking under his quiet kindness. He shared stories of Earth, tales of humans banding together against impossible odds, innovating to survive pandemics, wars, even cosmic threats. "We're stubborn like that," he'd chuckle. "Find a way or make one." As Ariane's strength returned, so did her spirit. The lower districts, with their anonymous crowds and hidden alleys, offered a freedom she'd never known. Elvis taught her the ropes, how to navigate the steam-filled corridors, barter in the black markets, and blend in. But venturing upstairs tested her. The first time they emerged into the enclave's polished streets, stairs followed them like lasers. Whispers of impure and human filth echoed. Ariane froze, old traumas resurfacing, the ritual branding, the betrayal by her own kin. Elvis stood by her, his presence a shield. "You've got this," he whispered, squeezing her hand. "You're stronger than they know." His words weren't empty. He showed her human tricks, quick disguises from scavenged fabrics, evasion tactics from his scout days, to slip through unnoticed. Their bond grew in the quiet moments, evenings spent in his habitat, sharing synthesized tea under the glow of hydroponic lights. Ariane opened up about her past, the suffocating expectations, the ritual that scarred her soul more than her body. Elvis listened, never judging, offering insights drawn from human history. "Back home, we fought for freedom too," he'd say. "Revolutions started with one act of defiance." His empathy rebuilt her confidence, brick by brick. She began to see the beauty in the underbelly, the resilient communities patching together lives from scraps, much like humans did on frontier worlds. Intimacy bloomed unexpectedly, like a rare flower in the hydroponics. One night, as rain pattered against the habitat's dome, simulated weather from the upper levels, Ariane reached for him. "Why me?" she asked, her voice trembling. "You owe me nothing." Elvis pulled her close, his calloused fingers tracing her green skin. "Because that's what makes us human. We care, even when it hurts." Their connection was passionate, healing, her traumas fading in the warmth of mutual trust, his isolation melting away. It wasn't just physical. It was a fusion of souls, proving that love could bridge worlds, but the world wasn't done testing them. Word of Ariane's survival trickled back to the enclaves. Enforcers came sniffing, drawn by rumors of an impure mingling with a human. One tense evening, as they returned from a supply run, shadows ambushed them in a narrow alley. 3 Arani thugs, armed with stun batons, demanding Ariane return for purification. Fear flashed in her eyes, but Elvis stepped forward, his medic's calm masking a warrior's fire. "She's not going anywhere," he growled. What followed was pure human ingenuity. Elvis had anticipated trouble. He'd rigged his survey drone with a diversionary flash, a hack from old war tech. As the enforcers lunged, he triggered it, blinding them in a burst of light. Ariane, empowered by his lessons, grabbed a loose pipe and swung with newfound ferocity, knocking one down. Together, they fought back to back, his precise strikes complementing her agile dodges. It wasn't brute force. It was smart, adaptive, hallmarks of humanity. They escaped into the underbelly's maze, hearts pounding but unbreakable. In the aftermath, Huddled in a hidden nook, Arian made her choice. "I won't run forever," she said, her voice steady. "But I won't go back alone." Elvis nodded, a smile breaking through. "Then we face it together." They emerged stronger, her from despair to defiance, him from solitude to shared purpose. Hand in hand, they walked into the uncertain future of Ara 9, a testament to how one human's compassion could shatter indifference and forge hope from the ashes. And that's the story, folks. Proof that in the cold void of space, humanity's light shines brightest. If this tale moved you, drop a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more HFY adventures. What do you think? Could you pull off a rescue like Elvis? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep that human spirit alive.